In the heart of Europe, Hungary is making a dramatic turn to the east. Once a model of Western integration, Hungary now courts China, Russia, and the BRICS, shaking the foundations of the EU and NATO. Chinese investment is pouring in, and Hungary is deepening its energy ties with Russia, even as the rest of Europe imposes sanctions. This pivot has transformed Hungary from a cooperative partner to a disruptor, using its veto power to block EU actions and challenge Western unity. Hungary's leaders see opportunity in a multipolar world, playing east against west to secure economic benefits and assert independence. The move tests the strength and credibility of Western alliances, raising questions about the future of European unity. Other nations are watching closely. Hungary's experiment could become a model for those seeking alternatives to the Western-led order. The stakes are high, and the outcome could reshape the geopolitical map. At the center of Hungary's shift is Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, who frames his policies as a fight for national sovereignty. He argues Brussels imposes liberal values and undermines Hungary's right to self-determination. Orbán's brand of national conservatism emphasizes traditional values and a strong state, clashing with EU expectations. Billions in EU funds have been suspended over rule of law concerns, but Orbán uses this as proof he's defending Hungary from foreign interference. Pragmatically, he sees Hungary's future in balancing East and West, attracting Chinese investment while keeping access to the EU market. Orbán resists pressure to choose sides, using ties with Beijing and Moscow as leverage in disputes with the West. This illiberal hedging lets Hungary challenge the Western consensus from within, redefining what it means to be a Western ally. It's a bold, risky strategy, one that could either secure Hungary's independence or isolate it further. Hungary has become China's main investment hub in Europe, attracting nearly half of all Chinese FDI on the continent in 2023. Orbán's Eastern opening policy offers Chinese firms tax breaks and access to the EU market, fueling a surge in megaprojects. Katyl is building a €7.3 billion battery plant in Debrecen, while BYD is constructing its first European car factory in Szeged. These projects are making Hungary a key player in Europe's green transition, powered by Chinese capital. Hungary also joined China's Belt and Road Initiative, modernizing the Belgrade-Budapest railway to speed Chinese goods into Europe. Critics warn of hidden debt and loss of sovereignty, as many deals remain secretive and heavily financed by Chinese loans. Western leaders caution that economic dependence on Beijing could limit Hungary's foreign policy freedom. Hungary's embrace of China is transforming its economy and raising tough questions about its future autonomy. While Europe cuts Russian energy, Hungary doubles down, sourcing 85% of its gas and much of its oil from Russia. Foreign Minister Szijjártó secures long-term deals in Moscow, insulating Hungary from energy shocks that hit its neighbors. Orbán insists this is about national interest, not politics, arguing Hungary's economy depends on cheap Russian energy. The partnership extends to nuclear power, with Russia's Rosatom building the PAX II plant, locking in decades of cooperation. This deep reliance gives Moscow leverage over an EU and NATO member, alarming Western allies who see a security risk. Hungary often blocks or waters down EU sanctions on Russia, frustrating efforts for a united response to the Ukraine war. Critics call Hungary a Trojan horse for Russian interests, but Orbán frames it as putting Hungary first. The result? Hungary stands alone, prioritizing energy security over alliance solidarity. Hungary's pivot to China and Russia is straining the Western alliance, fueling distrust within the EU and NATO. By blocking consensus on sanctions and tariffs, Hungary challenges the very foundation of European unity. Its actions raise doubts about intelligence sharing and security, especially as it delays key NATO decisions. Hungary's experiment is a test. Can a country hedge between East and West and benefit from both? If successful, others may follow, risking further fragmentation of the Western-led order. Hungary's story reflects a global shift toward multipolarity, where nations seek more choices and autonomy. The old certainties of the post-Cold War era are fading, replaced by new risks and opportunities. Whether Hungary's gamble pays off will shape the future of Europe and the world.